Don't panic.
When Los Angeles City Hall is attacked by an army of giant insects, you can bet Hollywood's effects masters are close at hand.
Panic! Panic!
But while this type of action has been a staple of monster movies since the 1930s, interaction is the new game in town. Today, interactive games are being produced with big screen special effects. And while these movies are made for the small screen, they are no less challenging, often requiring over 70 shots per day. Coming up, we'll go to the movies where you control the action, whether as a fearless pilot or an overmatched exterminator in the jaws of defeat. It's a new breed of special effects guaranteed to spark your interest.
Next on Movie Magic.
Some strange things are happening at a Burbank, California soundstage. A motley collection of insects is enacting a plan for world domination. Overgrown cockroaches are creeping out from under cars. A giant tarantula is bringing down the house. And only a stoic group of unlikely heroes stands in their way.
Let us pray!
This is the set of the new interactive movie, The Exterminators, in which a team of well-armed bug catchers do battle with the likes of General Grub, Brigadier Beetle, Buzz the Bee, and El Rocho.
Hey, get that camera off me.
The Exterminators is a Sony ImageSoft game for the Sega CD platform. This format, which looks much like a music CD, can hold nearly 1 hour of live-action video, a far cry from the days of Pong and Space Invaders. The game is being produced by Stargate Films, a top Hollywood effects house, whose credits include The Naked Gun 33 1/3 and Highlander 2. For director Sam Nicholson, the move from traditional movies to interactive was a natural transition.
You have computers, and you have prosthetics people, and you have optical people, and you have video technicians, and you have computer programmers, anyway, to create a visual effect. So in a medium as diverse as multimedia or interactive, you need all the technologies in one house.
Interactive games are designed to be experienced by individual audience members called players. The game designers can arm the player with automatic weapons, flight controls, or both, as with LucasArts' Rebel Assault, based on the Star Wars trilogy.
And may the Force be with you.
Creating special effects for interactive projects presents new concerns for Nicholson. Key scenes, such as this airborne attack from Stargate's Tomcat Alley, must be shot with variations, so that options the player exercises can be represented on screen.
Rather than blowing up a bridge once and saying, wasn't that great, they hit the bridge, you have to blow it up on the right, blow it up on the left, blow it up in the middle. So what we do is we create multiple bridges.
For the Exterminators, the player will blow up bugs instead of bridges. Lots of bugs. 7 different species of insects are modeled and then cast in polyfoam. Each bug is hand-trimmed and painted in Stargate's model shop, then distributed to one of several production teams. Puppet mechanic Jake McKinnon creates the mechanism that animates the antennae and mandibles of the insects, which will be interacting with each other in dialogue scenes. The animation is puppeteered by cable-controlled finger levers. Radio control mechanic Paul McNamara attaches other bug shells to model cars. The resulting contraptions can race away from or after the player, depending on whether they are winning or losing the game. In the game, the player is joined by a crack team of entomological experts, the Bug Blasters.
Here's your Bug Blasters.
Equipped with high-tech firearms, infrared goggles, and other important insect exterminating aids, the bug blasters pursue their prey in their heavily armed Bugmobile. Constructed in 6 weeks by a team of 10 artists and fabricators, the Bugmobile supplies the players with an arsenal of missiles, cannons, and machine guns.
And the missiles itself, we can get the pyro guys to actually make a small charge for the missiles.
For safety reasons, scenes that require the Bugmobile to unleash its weapons will be filmed with a radio-controlled 1/28 scale miniature Bugmobile.
So the player will have like a control, and he'll be able to target with the bug scope like a giant tarantula or something, and he'll be able to launch these in miniature. Yeah.
Action, Archival.
Quick, let's go.
Looks like we're going to have to go the rest of the way on foot.
I don't like the looks of these tunnels.
If they knew we was coming, they'd have tidied him up a little.
One of the most treacherous scenes in the game requires the bug blasters to descend into a giant scorpion's lair. Here they will do battle with this enormous, venom-spewing freak of nature. If the player hits the scorpion on either claw, the creature becomes enraged and takes vengeance on one of the bug blasters. A giant puppeteered claw is used for scenes with the actors, but the explosive conclusion must be filmed in miniature, as it would be prohibitively expensive to build the entire scorpion full scale.
We'll fill them up with a bunch of like red linguine, right? The scorpion red. And then we'll just blow him all over the inside of his chamber then.
Okay, great.
And that'll be the result if you hit him on his stinger.
Destroying the 6-foot polyfoam scorpion is a tricky endeavor. Pyrotechnician Robert Hutchins calls on his friend and mentor, explosives expert Joe Viscosal, whose explosions rocked a Florida causeway in True Lies and lit up Terminator 2's Future Wars sequence.
Being that these creatures are made of foam rubber, one has to have a lot of oomph to them. You can't just put a black powder bomb inside of it and think that it'll blow it up, because it won't.
To ensure that the scorpion will split apart, Viscosal lines the inside of its shell with 7.5 grain primacord. When triggered with a detonator, this volatile rope-like explosive burns at 22,000 feet per second.
Primacord is very safe material. You could throw this in fire and it will only burn. But once you put this detonator on it, it sets it off, and sets it off real fast.
Once the pyrotechnics are in place, the shell is filled with foam remnants to simulate internal organs, red liquid to portray blood, and the important final ingredient, linguine, doubling as bug guts. Joe prepares the creature and instructs the puppeteers to get into a safe position prior to the explosion. Once the safety checks are complete, the set is cleared and the cameras roll. The pyrotechnic team has done its job. When the player scores a hit on the scorpion in the finished game, they are rewarded with a well-deserved payoff. Next, we'll look at early forms of interactive entertainment, from the spectacle of 3D to the aroma of odorama.
See, you get it? You smell it? It works.
Although interactive movies are very new, filmmakers have been searching for inventive ways to involve audiences for decades.
I'm Vincent Price. You're invited to my party in the house on Haunted Hill.
In the early 1950s, the booming growth of television reduced box office admissions dramatically. In response, a bizarre assortment of promotional gimmicks was introduced to lure the public out of their homes.
I'm William Castle, and I feel obligated to warn you about the next attraction you will see at this theater.
The P.T. Barnum of this era was William Castle. The flamboyant producer-director pioneered inventive gimmicks such as Emergo, which caused skeletons to fly over the audience during a scene in House on Haunted Hill.
Members of the audience, including you, will actually play a part in the picture.
At the start of Castle's film, The Tingler, he warned audiences that they were in as much danger as the on-screen characters, thanks to a revolutionary technique he called Percepto. Castle claimed that the only defense against the dreaded Tingler was to scream whenever the beast was near. To encourage audience participation, Castle had several seats in each theater rigged with electronic devices. Each time the tingler appeared, the devices would be triggered. Audience members would experience a low-voltage electrical shock, and screams would fill the auditorium.
William Castle was really the whole reason I got into show business in the beginning. I would go to the Towson Movie Theater, which was the name of the theater near where I lived, and by the time it got there, and the tingler, only 2 seats were wired, not the whole theater. So I would go early and look under the seats and find where the buzzer was and sit there all day and get electric shocks.
Following in Castle's footsteps, John Waters introduced an even more unusual interactive gimmick with his 1981 film, Polyester.
Odorama will enable you, the viewer, to actually smell right from your movie seat some of life's most fragrant odors.
When numbers flashed on the screen, audience members used scratch and sniff Odorama cards to experience various aromas such as roses, pizza, and other less appealing fragrances.
What is it? What? Let's go! It was a joke. It was another part of humor in the film that basically I was trying to include the audience in on this joke. They had smell-o-vision, they had aroma-rama, but none of it worked because they could get the smells in the theater, but they couldn't get them out. This way, I got the audience to not only have the smells in the theater, but they got to take it home with them.
While Percepto and Odorama were one-time gimmicks, the 1952 introduction of 3D films proved to be more than a passing fad.
I'm sure you'd all like to know something about the new entertainment miracle, Third Dimension. What it is, what it does.
After the seminal 3D effort Wanna Devil boasted it would put a lion in your lap, the 1950s spawned dozens of imitators. These heavily hyped films advertised the effect with such glorified names as Natural Vision and Duovision.
Objects actually seem to come out of the screen, so real they almost touch you, creating the most dramatic impact that the screen has ever known.
Most early 3D photography utilized 2 precisely positioned cameras, a cumbersome technique that slowed the production process dramatically. This solution was deemed inadequate by Christopher Condon, an optical technician who has spent 40 years perfecting 3D technology.
I developed a method of using one camera to shoot the 2 images. And this was done by using a special lens. It's a single camera that takes the left eye and right eye view and puts them directly on each motion picture frame. And now, instead of needing 2 projectors in the theater, we only need 1.
For exhibition, the film must be projected through a similar double lens, as well as a pair of polarizing filters, which keep the images separate or polarized. To perceive the effect, audience members must wear glasses which keep the left and right eye images distinct. Today, 3D films rarely appear in movie theaters, but Condon is introducing the technology to a new generation of artists. He is hard at work on a variety of theme park and other special venue films, such as cinema rides Haunted Graveyard Run.
It was one of the greatest pleasures of my professional life to work with the younger filmmakers, because they're very open-minded and are very much attuned to the term virtual reality. And a properly made 3D motion picture is really like virtual reality for audiences.
Action game!
I predict that eventually, maybe very soon, the young filmmakers are going to be the ones that put this marvelous dimensional process into mainstream.
Even though the technology involved may differ dramatically, whether it's Percepto, Odorama, Emergo, or 3D, the idea is to get the audience involved.
There's nothing I like more when I'm standing in the back of the theater and I see the whole theater do body English together from either laughing or being shocked at something or being surprised. So it's incredibly important to me that they don't just sit there.
This will make you feel all better.
The entire backside of his butt's going to get cream.
Coming up, the team from Stargate creates 2 very different explosive endings to the Bug Blasters saga.
Action!
On the set of The Exterminators, the team from Stargate Films is preparing 2 main endings for this interactive game. One will convey victory, the other devastation.
If you win the game, you wind up blowing up City Hall and the biggest bug of them all, and you're a great hero and the mayor comes out and you get the key to the city. On the other hand, you lose, bugs invade Los Angeles, you blow up City Hall by mistake, and you're totally scorned by all of Los Angeles and the news crews. We call it the big humiliation scene.
At the end of the game, the League of Insects has assembled in City Hall to plot Los Angeles' ultimate demise.
I want them to scream. I want them to bleed. I want them to say, "Mommy!"
The player, along with the bug blasters, must plant a bomb and get out of the building before the big explosion. For the League of Insects scenes, a team of puppeteers takes its articulated characters to a green screen stage where they will be filmed. The green screen will be electronically replaced with a background shot in post-production.
The fire ants fizzle! Okay, and now look up at Grub. Yeah. Right? Ready? One more time. Ready? And action. The fire ants fizzle!
The bugs are puppeteered from beneath the floor of the set. The process of synchronizing the 7 performances is complicated, but once a good take is captured, it can be used for several scenes.
You can dub in either line. I mean, you can't. Lip sync is not a particular problem here. Right.
Shooting the exteriors is even more complicated. Sam has elected to film several scenes outside of the real Los Angeles City Hall. To create the proper ambiance, the production team has mocked up fire trucks, ambulances, police vehicles, SWAT teams, and even the U.S. Army.
Well, the minor problem here is they haven't told me how this thing works.
Hundreds of extras are brought in to stage the crowd scenes. Assistant Director Anthony Fiorino guides the crowd through the different performances needed.
Because this is interactive, which means there's multiple choices, we have to cover like every aspect, anything possible that could happen.
They're on their way! Wait!
The crowd must first deliver an enthusiastic reception for the bug blasters when they arrive on the scene to save the day. Later, the crowd is asked to react to a tarantula towering over City Hall.
I tell you, be calm! Please!
When the crowd scenes are complete, Stargate team members return to their studio. Here they will stage the climactic scenes in miniature. For the past 6 weeks, Stargate's model shop has been at work on a 1/60th scale model of City Hall. A team of 5 sculptors and painters have fabricated the miniature out of plaster, masonite, and a liquid plastic called fast cast. As the model will eventually be blown up, key points in the wood structure frame are weakened or scored, ensuring a dramatic and predictable demolition. When finished, the City Hall model is taken to one of Stargate's stages. First, the losing scenario is filmed. A team of puppeteers perform the scenes in which a giant tarantula emerges from behind City Hall.
And you're shunted over here, right? I'm shunted. Okay, both floors.
When it comes time to shoot the winning scenario, City Hall and the arachnid are turned over to Joe Viscosal and Robert Hutchins for demolition. Destroying the City Hall miniature is a precision undertaking. Primacord must be placed at the scored points inside the structure to ensure that it comes apart as desired. A proprietary blend of chemicals and compounds is added to the structure to create a spectacular but controlled fireball. When all of the preparations are complete, Viscosal clears the set. As this blast is much larger than any other done for the project, extra safety measures are added.
Nobody should be going in until we say it's okay. And when it goes off, hold your ears. It's going to be loud. All right? Anything else? Let's do it.
The high-speed remote cameras are tested, and smoke is added for atmospheric ambiance. Finally, everything is ready.
Final!
The explosion is impressive, but Nicholson feels that the ending needs to be even more dramatic. He asks Viscosal to rig one more charge to the partially destroyed model. The additional blast makes the tarantula's death far more satisfying, and Nicholson knows his game has a winning ending.
After kids have played this game for probably 50 to 100 hours, this is what they get to. They get to blow up City Hall, the big bug, and they win the game. What more could you want?
When the filming is complete, composer Mars Lazar creates digitized insect noises which add to the game's comical tone. The finished game is then taken to Sony's interactive testing facility.
We have full-time video game testers, and they will sit and they will play the game, and they will try and discover if there are any software bugs.
Bugs are one thing that anyone playing this game will have no trouble finding. The team from Stargate has created an interactive experience that is bound to create a buzz. And the cutting-edge artists who created this entomological adventure continue to innovate. They are ushering Hollywood into this new medium where the effects masters are the stars. It's the work of these special effects artists and technicians which puts this form of storytelling on the cutting edge. And in these games, whether you win or lose, you'll still enjoy the unique experience of interactive movie magic.